So let's talk about money. So today's topic for discussion is budgeting. How can we budget? How can we maintain a budget? What are the hacks? How can we manage our high spend month expenses and everything you need to know about it? So let's see. Firstly, I want you all to know, tell me what budget means to you. Like, what do you feel about budget? Are you able to maintain it? Do you want to learn how to make a budget and everything? I'm reading in the comment section below. Do let me know. Let me first explain you what budgeting means. Okay. So budgeting is basically like writing down everything that you do, like managing your expenses and everything. So firstly, what you need to do is it's a step by step process. Okay. So firstly, set realistic goals. Your goals should be realistic and achievable. All right, it shouldn't be like you are thinking of saving 50% of your income and you're not able to save it, then you regret it later. So what happens is you need to set realistic goals. Supposedly try to save small amounts of money every month and then gradually increase it. The second step for the budgeting is identify your incomes and expenses. Once you set out the goals, list down all your incomes and expenses, then separate needs and wants differently. Like needs are those things which are the necessities which you can't avoid, but wants are the ones which you can figure out and prioritize which ones want you incur right now and which ones can you postpone it in the next month. The step 4 says design your budget. Step 5 is putting your plan into action. This is the most important step. Okay, so when what we all do is we all plan out different things, but we fail at the point of time when it comes to executing. One needs to do is put your plan into action, execute it properly so that all your efforts come into a line properly. Then comes out the seasonal expenses or the unexpected expenses that we face. So what happens is in times of festivities or when in terms of people who are parents, like they need to send their kids to school, and when a new session starts they have to incur a few expenses in terms of buying new books or uniforms or school fees and etc. So these becomes the high spend months for us during the festivities. And so one needs to manage their budget properly so that they can manage these expenses in terms of high spend months, and in terms of low spend months they can put out the savings into a savings bank account or another liquid fund so that they have it ready. Another thing, lastly, the step for budgeting which says is stick to the plan. One needs to do is if you have maintained a budget, you are executing it, just stick to it so that it gives you better results in future. So we have received quite a lot of questions from our users. So I'll be answering a lot of questions and I'll try to take cover everything. So firstly, we have received a question from Deepika. She says like what is the golden rule for budgeting? Is there any rule? So, answering your question, Deepika, we have a golden rule for budgeting. It's called the 50-30-20 rule. When we talk about this, it says that 50% of your expenses should go towards your needs. Like if you think of groceries, housing, utilities, health insurance, and the bill payments, car payments, etc. These are the essentials that you need to pay for every month. The next 20% should go towards your savings, the amount that you keep aside for yourself, for your future, for your uh, benefits, and for basically keep it as a safety net for you. So try to save 20% every month towards your savings, and then rest 30% should go towards your wants, the lifestyle that you want to live. So it can go out to shopping or dining out or hobbies, anything which you have, you can spend the rest 30% on that. So I hope I have answered your question, Deepika. The next question that we have received is like how smartly can we get rid of a credit card debt payment if we have around 4 lakhs of debt on us? How can we manage that? So when we see credit cards are like a blessing in disguise, isn't it? When we have a lot of debt, the idea is to do something so that we can repay it as fast as possible. And the most important thing is, take debts which you are able to, you have the capacity to repay it. Don't take, like, if someone takes like a debt which is, it's over their capacity, it can hamper their budgets and can hamper the monthly savings that they do. So here we have an idea, like according to the 50/30/20 rule, budgeting rule, which I said, you can do that. And the 30% that goes towards the allocation, goes towards the wants, you can compromise on it for some time and can use that for the repayment of the debt. So I hope that will be able to help you out with your debt repayment. Another question we have received is, Shamli says that I earn somewhere around 50 to 60,000 rupees per month. I have taken a car on loan which the EMI goes for around 40,000 per month. So she wants to clear this EMI by the end of this year and has 9 months left to go for it. And she doesn't have any house expenses and just her own expenses. So she thinks like the 10-20,000 which remains usually gets wasted upon shopping and unwanted things. So can you suggest me where should I save this remaining amount? So Shamli, answering to your question, firstly, a big congratulations for your car. Secondly, now coming back to your query, when you say that you have a loan repayment, it's okay that you have the EMI. The rest 20 or 10,000 that you're left with, you can use it for yourself also, so that you don't feel guilty that you are just, saving everything and not utilizing it for yourself. But you can allocate, supposedly what you can do is, you can use like 60% can go towards your savings and rest 40% can be used for by you for the shopping or dining out or whatever you feel like. So this is just an example of how you can allocate the rest of the money that you have. Another question we have received is that Ritika says that I have no dependencies on me and hence I'm not able to save out of my salary. A lot of my time I don't know like where my money goes. So this happens with everyone, right? We don't know, like sometimes we are just lost and expensive with our expenses, we don't know what to do. So here the suggestion is like, I'd say you can use the golden rule of budgeting, or there's another method which says that pay yourself first. So whenever you get an income, whenever you receive a salary, pay certain sum of money, keep certain sum of money for yourself aside, and then use the rest for your expenses or anything. So this way, every month you will be saving a certain percentage of money and using the rest for your expenses or your essentials, which I would say. So here we have like one question that we commonly receive is like, what how budgeting helps us, how it can be helpful, like why to maintain a budget. So I'd say like, I've heard my parents say that boon boon se sagar banta hai. Okay. So what this means is basically every small saving that you do right now, or every small saving that you are doing in the coming time, like coming future, it will help it will help you to build a great amount of money which can help you fulfill your dreams, your aspirations, and everything that you want to do in your life. Then you will see the benefits of how small efforts can contribute in a better way towards your life. Another question that we have received is, what are the monthly investment ideas, say 1 to 5K, if we like to invest, what would be the best? So here I would say like, I can't suggest a best investment option, but I can guide you through to choose the right avenue for right investment avenue for yourself. Okay, so there are a few parameters which you need to keep in mind when it comes to choosing the investment instrument. All right, so first thing comes is the investment goal amount. Whatever amount you need, fix that first, considering the inflation. The second thing is the time horizon. Fix it like after how long you want that money. Thirdly, figure out the risk appetite. How much risk are you willing to take for that particular investments? Fourthly, check out if there is any lock-in period in the particular investment instrument. If you are looking at, are you comfortable with it or not? Does it hamper your goals, or like you need to identify whether it is suitable to your needs or not, and as per these criterias you will be able to narrow down to a few options which will help you identify the best investment options for you. Now, coming to another question we have from Apeksha, she says that how to assign monthly budgets to long term financial goals. Like, is there any handy calculator for reference? So, Apeksha, answering your question, I would say that, firstly, you can use the basic pen and paper method and can identify what all, you know, the incomes and expenses that you have. The another thing that you can use is the Lakshmi Planner. Yes, it's something exciting, and everything you need to know about budgeting to planning your goals, it covers everything. It's just one book, super handy. You can visit our website www.lakshmi.in and can get your planner. It will help you identify all your expenses, plan your budgets and various goals considering the short term, long term, and ultra short term goals. So I hope I've answered your question. We have received another question from one of our users. They say, I want to, is it wise to maximize loan to invest in property, or should we accumulate the funds and then invest? So basically, when we talk about investing in a property, it's a huge investment. Firstly, all you need to do is be mindful of your expenses since it's a huge investment. Secondly, it's illiquid. We don't usually sell out our properties in a frequent way as other investment instruments are liquid. So take that in mind. Try to save your money so that you get a better return, and you can use it as a down payment for your loan in terms of buying a house. So let's come to a question which says, like, every time there's a topic for discussion, like every time we hear people say, like, why should we budget, or how can budgeting help? So in the recent times, as we all faced during the COVID-19 pandemic, we have all went through this. A lot of people face their income, like they lost their jobs or they received pay cuts and everything. So this made all of us realize how important budgeting is for us, how we can maintain it, how we can help it, how it can basically help us identify all our expenses and can help us minimize the unnecessary expenses that we have. Okay, so when we talk about budgeting, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Wherever you see the budgeting thing applies. When we talk about saving water, we hear it usually from our parents, like, save water, you will need it. you know and in kitchen also, we hear our mothers usually say that don't waste food. So these are the things which gives us a brief example about budgeting as to how it is important. And apart from that, it also tells us ki, basically, when we save small amounts of money, it gives us a benefit in future. So here we have another question. I'll tell you, we have received another question from one of a, just a second. Another question which we have received says, a person says, who has just started making a budget or is planning on starting setting on realistic goals. So if one earns around 50,000 and expects to save 40,000 while managing living expenses with two kids, is it possible? Like, how one can start budgeting as a beginner? So here I have something interesting for all of you. It's the 4S formula that I call it. Start small and smart savings. Okay. Why start? Because you need a great push to start this budgeting process and everything. Start small because every small saving helps. Thirdly, why smart savings? Okay. So, smart is usually when people say, now you should save, but you should put your savings into action. So saving smartly means where you are investing your savings, where you are parking your savings. That's important, and that plays a critical role when we talk about budgeting. It's not just saving, it's just investing also in the right instrument so that the money works for you in the long run. So remember this 4S formula. It says start small and smart savings. Okay, so now let's come to another question, which says like, how can we plan the unexpected expenses? Okay, so when there's a chance, when we see people having problems or issues with the unexpected expenses, what they can do. So here the magic thing which helps everyone is the emergency fund. One should create the emergency fund which will help them in terms of in times of high spend months, and when they are in need of urgent money. When everything goes planned, but there are some times that we face unexpected expenses, right? So we need to create an emergency fund. An emergency fund is something which is equivalent to your 6 to 8 months of your monthly expenses. Okay, so this sum of money can be parked into a highly liquid investment instruments, be it your savings account or your ultra short term mutual debt mutual funds or liquid funds. As per your needs, park your investments. And in terms of emergency, you can always, you know, rely on it, but plan your budgets effectively. Another question we have received says that, just a second, when budgeting, like, should we budget for what we currently have or expected to have? Sounds interesting, right? Like when it comes to freelancers, how can they plan a budget? So in terms of when we consider the case of freelancers, what happens usually is their income is not fixed. In certain months they earn a huge sum of money, and in certain number of months they don't have such amount of income. So what are the ways can with which they can manage their money? So I'd say, like, whenever you have a good inflow of money, in terms of high inflow of money, set aside whatever extra money that you have. Try to save the maximum amount and put it into some savings, some investment options, and then you can utilize those extra money that you have earned through in the coming months where you don't have that particular inflow of cash. Also, one more important thing is try to minimize your expenses. Okay, so when you do budgeting, what effectively you can do is, man, like, write down every expense of yours and try to see what are the unnecessary expenses that you are incurring. So when we talk about maybe dining out or going for a movie, this doesn't usually happen during the COVID times, I know, but yeah, in general scenario, we face these expenses going out with friends or having a function or a party or anything. So you need to identify what all expenses can be cut down or minimized, and then accordingly you can plan out for everything. So when we talk about budgeting, I have an example to share with you all. Like, make it easy for you all to understand like how budgeting helps. Okay, so consider this example. When we say, when we plant a seed, okay, so when we plant a seed, it's just a small seed and we don't see many effect of it and how it benefits us, but over the period of some time it grows into a leaf. It has 2 leaves or 3 leaves or something. Okay, after some time it grows into a plant, and after certain number of years, maybe like after 3 years or 5 years, you see it growing as a tree, proper tree, and after some years it gives us fruits. So this is how the process of budgeting is also, like it how this savings, like 20% savings, or if whatever percentage saving you do every month, can help you give returns. Like when the tree gives us fruits, we cherish it, right? And we take care of the tree throughout by giving it proper water and nutrients and everything that it receives, and care. So this is how we should all do with our investments also, or budgeting per se. Like when you are disciplined and doing everything towards your savings, you can identify and you can see how it's helping you in terms of increasing your savings and investments, and in terms in later point of time can help you in fulfilling your dreams, be it buying a new car or a new house, or going for some people love to travel, so they can fulfill their goals at that particular point of time, and these small savings will help them. It's definitely, they'll be a proper help to them. Okay, so next question we have is like I someone says that I have a doubt. Supposedly we have invested in life insurance, health insurance, etc. And but eventually in a couple of years they are planning to move out of India. So should they actually continue it or not? So this is the question. I'd like to answer it. Like, evaluate all the policies that you have. Some like car insurance and everything may not be required since you're moving out of India. But in terms of health insurance, don't get rid of it right away. Just see what are your plans. Are you getting health insurance from the company that you are working on? Are you covered? Is your family covered? And do you have plans of coming back to India? And accordingly decide whether you should keep your health insurance or term insurance or not. Because when we are planning to come to India, there are times when we are not able to, get claims when you buy a new policy, because pre-existing diseases are not covered sometimes, and it takes time for them to cover. So be mindful of your expenses. Be mindful, like whatever incomes or expenses you have, are you covered under health insurance, and then take a decision. And so, people who are watching live currently, do you have any questions for us for budgeting, related to budgeting or hacks of budgeting? Do ask in the comment section below. I'm here to answer all your questions. So, Chanchal asks, like, can I have a budget even if I don't have a regular income? Answering your question, yes, absolutely, you can have a budget even if you don't have a regular income. There's no issue. At least what you can do is list down all your expenses that you have, a basic structure of it, and then can work on how you can manage those expenses considering your income levels. Okay, so when we see, I'd say, like when you receive a good amount of income, you try to save some money out of it and can plan your expenses, and the rest of the savings can be used for the months which you don't receive income. So I hope I've answered your question. So Rebecca asks, if only one person earns, is it possible to do a budget? Yes, of course, it's possible to do a budget. Don't need to worry. It's very, very simple to understand. All you need to do is make a proper list of your expenses. Try to calculate the incomes, like incomes from all the sources that you receive, be it a rental income or a salary income or anything else. And apart from that, just list down your expenses, and yeah, 50 30 20 rule is doable. Try when you talk about savings now, like whatever income you have, try to set aside 20% of it before only, and then spend the rest of the income on your essentials and wants. So this way it will be able to, help you get better with your budget. So I hope I've answered. There's another question from Shikha. She says that why am I not able to save even if I prepare a budget? So here the thing is discipline. What you need to do is stick to your plan. What I said before, like the steps to budgeting, you need to maintain the discipline, have a discipline, stick to your plan, and stay motivated. One thing is, I'm so sorry for the delay. One thing you need to do is, um I've answering your question, yeah. So discipline is very, very important in terms of budgeting. Stick to your plan, do whatever you can, try to maintain a budget, and then eventually you will be in a habit to do it. And when you see now that you have saved certain sum of money at the end of 1 year or 2 years, you will be happy and motivated to do it all the years along. Rinky says that as an expert, how do you plan your budget? So budgeting is not that complicated, I feel. It's very easy. If you want, I can just recall the step by step process of budgeting, which says, set realistic goals, identify your incomes and expenses. So list down all your expenses, be it on a pen and paper or on an Excel sheet, or you can use the Lakshmi planner, of course, for that. But yeah, so these are the ways you can plan your budget, list down everything, separate needs and wants. And the most important thing is stick to your plan and put your plan into action. When you execute the plan, that way only the things start working for you. Otherwise, when it's just on paper, it doesn't help. So Veena asks, what are the other methods of budgeting other than the 50/30/20 rule we used to say? So yeah, there are a lot more methods of budgeting. So one of the methods is pay yourself method, which says like whenever you receive a good sum of money or whenever you receive your income, set aside certain percentage of money which you pay yourself, which is for you, which is just for you, and then you can allocate those funds basically to your say different saving instruments or different goals, and can use the rest of the money which you have towards your expenses. We have question from Uma. She says, is budgeting the only solution to save? So answering your question, Uma, with the budgeting you get an overview of your expenses and incomes. So that way you have a clear view of how you can save for your particular goals. If you are able to manage your expenses without budgeting also, like in general without making a budget or anything, if you are able to manage it, it's well and good. If it works for you, it's great. But for some people, they need to know, like they don't know now that where their money goes basically. So for that they can always have this budgeting technique, use this budgeting technique, and can help, it will help them. So Sai Deepika asks a question like how to really budget with lesser income. Sai Deepika, don't worry, even if there's less income, it's not a problem. People with lesser income also can plan their budget. The budgeting is not restricted for, it's not just for people which have a higher income. So when you have a lesser income, just plan your expenses accordingly. When I say now that start small and smart saving, the 4S formula which I mentioned, So you can do is start small, like even if you have a lesser income, maybe at that particular point of time you can save 10% of your money. The 50-30-20 rule is just a thumb rule. You can customize it as per your situation, as per your needs. Some months when you have a lesser income, you can save 10% of your money maybe, or can compromise the 10% from the 30% of bonds that we allocate. Okay. Or other than that, when you have a higher income, you can always put more sum of money towards your savings. So this way you can manage the uncertainties of incomes if you have. I hope I've answered this. Neha asked, I'm a student, should I still budget? So, Neha, it's very relatable thing for everyone. Like when we are in college or when we are a student, what we face an issue is we get pocket money or we earn something from part-time jobs or something. Like we have less amount of money during our college days or as a student. So when we face, we all have expenses at that particular point of time also. Now we wish to go out with our friends, we want to go out and eat at various restaurants or travel or something. Or even if not that, we can have expenses like buying a book if you like reading. So how can you manage the budget? And like it's very important to maintain a budget, and even if you're a student, you can still save money, still invest your money through, there are various means you can invest your money through which. So this budgeting will be able to help you in terms of a long run process. This will develop a habit, so that in terms when you start earning, when you are working or having your own business, at that particular point of time also you are able to manage your expenses well, since you know it from before only. So that way you will be a smart student there. Sai Deepika says, any tips on how to save money earned out of part-time jobs? Okay, Sai Deepika. So when you earn money out of part-time jobs, it may not be a fixed money, or sometimes it may be. So it can be a fixed or variable money in terms of a part-time job. But what you can do is set aside that particular certain percentage of money which you don't need towards your be it, call it a secret savings for you, the money that is just for yourself or for your goals. Okay. So if you plan to go on a trip with your friends or your family in after a 2 years time period, okay, so you can start putting the some like certain sum of money which you are saving towards the fund which can help you save for your travel goals. Or supposedly you want to buy a new car for yourself or a two-wheeler, so accordingly you can set aside certain sum of money from your part-time jobs. So another question we have from Rebecca, she says, is it necessary to stick to the 50-30-20 rule? So it's very, a tricky concept. People say that budgeting is complicated, it's tricky, and whether we should stick to this 50-30-20 rule, is it necessary? It's absolutely not necessary to stick to it. It's, it's very personal. As we say that every person's financial plan is unique and it's different for everyone, this is also a similar concept. I'd say that budgeting is also very customized and individual, like a unique approach everyone has. So some person may save around 30% of their money towards their future, some may be able to save only 10%. So it depends upon your incomes, your expenses, and also you can customize this 50-30-20 rule. It's just a thumb rule. You can customize it as per your requirements. So I hope this answers your question. Thank you, Sai Deepika. You can ask me all like I'm there. I'm right, like reading the comments. You can ask me the questions if you have any relating to the budgeting. Okay. One thing which I'd like to say is, which is very important when it comes to budgeting, it's about staying motivated throughout this journey, because without motivation one can't go further in this process. If they are motivated, if they are well versed, they have a dream, if they have something to achieve, they will work. So it's very very important to stay motivated, stick to your plan, do budgeting, so that it helps you achieve your goals. And at certain point, after certain point of time, or after supposedly 10 years, you will see like all your efforts, all your constant efforts towards budgeting was worth it. Yeah. Another question we have is how to budget the 30% of the amount we save out of the thumb rule of 50-20-30. So, Sai Deepika, the thumb rule says that 50% should be allocated towards your expenses or the essentials, 30% towards your wants, and 20% towards your savings. But if we say you customize it as a 20% towards wants and 30% towards savings, you can budget that 30% that you are saving into various instruments or various goals. Supposedly you have a 5-year goal of planning to buy, you have a 5-year goal of buying a car. Like after 5 years you wish to buy a car, after 10 years you wish to send your children to study abroad for their college or anything, and after 15 years or 20 years you have their plans for like for child's marriage and everything. So accordingly, as per your goals, you can divide those 30% amount into various categories. For example, you can save 5,000 per month for your car, or 15,000 for your kids education, and rest of the money for your child's marriage. So this way you have to segregate that particular savings into various goals and can allocate accordingly. So there are 5 goals which one must have when they do savings. Is firstly creating an emergency fund. That is, it is the most important thing in times of COVID. We have all seen, we have all realized the importance of it. So firstly, create an emergency fund. Second, have a health adequate health cover, health insurance. Thirdly, the medical insurance, which is like the term insurance, which is very very important if you are the breadwinner of the family. Fourth is the retirement planning, because we are working right now, we may not be working, we wish to retire early, we may have some goals that we want to fulfill, so one needs to plan for their retirement effectively. Fifth is, I'd say, is the wealth creation. After you are done with these 4 goals, then you can focus on the wealth creation part of it. So Ayushi asks, like, when to do the sales and make me cheat on my budget. So yeah, we all are allowed to have one cheat day, right? Be it dieting or anything, we need to have a cheat day. So yeah, sometimes you have that 30% of your wants allocation, right? So accordingly you can use that particular 30% towards your savings or your cheat day and can enjoy your day and splurge on yourself. So yeah. Mansi asks how to decide which how much I should budget towards any investments if I want to possess in future. So, answering your question, if you have particular goals in mind, supposedly, so I'll give you a brief parameters which you need to consider while figuring out how can you budget and how can you save for that expenses. So there are few things you need to keep in mind. Firstly, it's the goal amount which we save. Figure out how much money you need for your for achieving your goal, and consider inflation also along with it. This way it will give you a particular sum of money. Okay, after that you need to decide the time period, after how long you need that money, be it 5 years, 10 years, or a 1 year time period. Decide the time period. Thirdly, decide the risk appetite, like how much risk are you willing to take. Are you a risk taker, or are you a risk averse person? So you need to decide on that front. Fourthly, look at the lock in period. Is there any lock in the instruments in which you are looking at? So there may be instruments with like ELSS or a PPF which comes with a lock-in period, but there are investments like general mutual funds that we see, or ultra short-term funds. They don't have a lock-in, so you need to consider that. Fourthly, consider, see if there are any tax benefits and are you looking for it or not. And after these parameters, considering these parameters, you will be able to narrow down to a few options which will be able to help you figure out the right investment products for yourself. And you can always follow the 50-30-20 budget rule for segregating your savings, and can put use those things for achieving your goals. So I hope it answers your question. So, firstly, we had a great time with you all. Thank you all for joining us for this lovely session. Had a great time. Let us be a part of your money journey and help you through your finances in an easier way. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope I don't see any questions. So, I'm just going to wrap up this session. Thank you, everyone.